Hey there YouTube, twofinger here, doing a quick review of my bookshelf MP3 system. So the idea behind this is that it's self-contained. There's one cable, and that's the cable that connects in between the two speakers, because they're powered right now. The system is being powered by these three lithium-ion batteries. And if I wanted to, I could merely unplug this and then run a power supply. Like 12 volt 3 amp would probably work really well. So the story behind this, I'll start at the beginning with the speakers and pop these off. They were $3.99 a piece, and the girl rang them up as $3.99 for both. So I ended up, I threw them in the cart, my wife checked out, and later on when we looked at the receipt, we realized we had been mischarged. And when we get a deal like that, we tend to just take it. So yeah, they are Walmart house brand biaxial. They're like $49 retail, and they have a 2.2 UF capacitor inline on the tweeter. So I ordered some two-way crossovers, some little small 50, or they're rated at 60 watt ones that I've used before. They're good crossovers. You can get a pair of them for $6. I ordered those and they didn't arrive. They were like supposed to be here like a couple weeks ago. So I had to file a claim, and I got another set of those coming. So in the meantime, I went ahead and put this together. The handle cost me $1 for a pair of these handles, one on each side. And you know what? Do I put the grill? They look so cool without the grill. But the idea behind this one is for taking out on the patio when I smoke my ribs. So there is a single volume knob. And then EQ. I just paused it. So if you enjoyed that music, that is a selection off of my album, which I recorded in January of this year. It is called Minor Technical Difficulties. It is one long track. I think it's 40 minutes long, and there is a sing song, a cover song at the end of that. But yeah, that's Minor Technical Difficulties. That's me making that music there. So the basic idea behind this is that grab these speakers, bring them out, slam them down, turn it on, and hit play. There's no power supply to plug in, extra cables, something medium volume for outdoor use, portable use. I could just as soon take these with us if we were going to go to the forest preserve and play a little frisbee golf, bring the propane grill, and set that up, cook some hot dogs, and then throw the frisbees around. This would be what I would bring instead of a boom box. And getting back to the power supply again, it's just these three 18650 lithium-ion batteries that are running it. This comes out to 12.65 volts, somewhere around there, 12.6. So the amplifier is in this board here. It is a PAM8610, and that is 10 per channel, so it's a 20 watt amp board. And the PAM8610 is known for its fidelity. It's a good sounding board that they have a class AB that's similar, that's around the same price, but the milliamp draw, the reason I went with this one, and excuse me, I'm going to get up and because I have that other amp board here, and I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Here is that's a TPA or TPA. Let me see. I'm gonna have to. And when I'm saying that, that's the actual chip. This is a TDA 7297. Okay, and now the thing about this is a really good sounding. This is 15 by 2, but it consumes more power. That's why there's this big heatsink on here. The heatsink that's on the amp board that's in here is like a 1.5 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters. It's a real small heatsink. And respectively so. I was going to build it with this, and then I looked up I Googled that number, the number of the chip, and you look at what the quintessential current on standby is, and then the standby at a peak point. And it was 4 times as much as this. So I went ahead and ordered this board, which this project kept getting stalled because of eBay stuff. But like I said, what I really like about this is, number one, the cost. It was unbelievably cheap for this. We paid $4 for the speaker, the MP3 player, the head unit, you could call it, was $4.30. The PAM 8610 was $2 and change, and then it's like $1 for the 18650 holder. That was $1 for the handles. So you're looking at really, like, let's see, 4, that's 8, and then 3, 11, 12, 13. You know, and then like really the batteries, I tend to recycle those. We tend to, like, I go to Goodwill and I'll get a laptop pack for $1.99 that's dead, and I'll cut that open and there'll be 8 of those batteries in there. So if you'll excuse me again, I always go on like, oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of 18650s. And I do. Here's and I've got more than this. This isn't all that I have, but that's, yeah, this box is full of them, and they're all fully charged. And then, like, that's what runs in our flashlights. We run 18650 flashlights here, and then I have the chargers as well. So if you're not an 18650 person, you will be eventually, because all batteries are switching over to this technology. That's what's in the Tesla motor car. And I will show you, I've got a few chargers here. I'll just show you my main one. This is the main charger. It's got a 3 LED system that lets you know where you're at with the charging. But this is a good IntelliCharger. That's a good one. Costs you about $20 for that charger. But you can get the real cheap chargers that just charge a single one. Like if you were going to start out with this stuff and you just wanted to try a flashlight, which they're highly recommended because they're really bright. The bulb doesn't burn out because it's an LED, and you don't have to charge the battery as much. It's like you always have this really bright, efficient, small, waterproof flashlight at your fingertips. The only thing I don't like is some of them have modes where you'll turn it on and it'll blink like a strobe. And when it always seems like when I'm really kind of frustrated and I'll be working on something and I'll be like, flashlight, and then my wife will turn it on and it's disco party mode, you know. And it's only like when I'm pissed or like sweating and angry that it does that. But yeah, I'm getting so far away from the subject matter of this video, which was the bookshelf MP3 speaker. This is a really cool project. The unit here has Bluetooth, so that means you can sync this to your phone. You could set your phone up to play its MP3s, and it would connect to this, so then whatever you had on your phone would not be coming through your crappy phone speakers. It would be coming through these crappy speakers. So besides that, there is here, get a close up here of the TIFF. That's the micro SD or the TF card. And then above that is a USB, and we tried that earlier. I had one around here somewhere. But yeah, I put a thumb drive in there, and it read MP3s off the thumb drive. Then there's an auxiliary, so you could plug your whatever device into the front, and you access all those modes by using the remote here. And there's also an FM radio in here, and there's a hookup for an antenna, which I did not mess with that. But I think I'm going to put an antenna jack in it just in case. I mean, I might as well. I'm gonna have to open these up again to install the crossovers. But I finished this project today. Basically it was I used a hole saw to cut a large hole for this panel because this length of the pot shaft wasn't much to fit through the width of this wood. So I had to use this cheater panel here, and then I used a hacksaw to cut out a jigsaw to cut out the square rectangular hole for this, and then it was just all of the wiring. And this particular unit, it came with the remote. There was no battery in the remote, but it gave me all of the wiring, the connectors that I don't have. Actually, forgive me, I can show you because I've got some here. The connectors look like this. This would be like for the power connector, kind of look like about like that. And then for the audio ones, they were 3-wire because you have ground, right channel, and left channel. But this particular unit, it came with all of the connectors. Now there is a lot of varieties of these MP3 decoder boards on YouTube. So if you're having a hard time, go ahead, PM me, I could help you out. But you just want to make sure if you care about getting those connectors in there. I mean, to be honest with you, the amp board, it had a Walkman, it had a 3.5 millimeter input stereo, like a mini headphone jack input. So I had a cable, and I pulled the end off of one. I just pulled it off. There were the 3 wires. I tinned them, and I plugged that into the input, and then out of the going to the off the 3 strays, I went onto the MP3 board where the connections were for the connector, and I just soldered it on the bottom of the board. So that was how I chose to do that. And I did that on the power for the board just to avoid having to use the DC 2.1 mil to waste one, because I'm not going to be unplugging that in there. But external, I went ahead and did this with the idea that I could unplug this and then run a laptop power supply. So again, the purpose of this wire here, the one wire, is to carry sound out of the main speaker that has the amplifier to power this one. So this jack here, which used to be the power coming in to both speakers, you have let's say this would be the left channel, the right channel, this is output right, and that goes to this right speaker. So it's carrying the sound over to the other speaker. But one wire is livable for me for a quick drop it down. One wire, plug it in, and you're ready to go. And if I want to, I can bypass those batteries, unplug that, and run a power supply into it and not waste batteries. But it sounds good. I mean, I think that might have something to do with personal bias because I recorded this song. That's me. So yeah, however you end up going with these MP3 decoder boards, the most expensive one is $12.60 for a really full-featured, like large one that looks real sturdy and professional. And then these cheaper ones, there's a non-Bluetooth one for $2.99. And I installed one of those. That ran off of 5 volts. That was the only thing. And that one, It just reset itself. Got the fake vinyl noise. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea why. Because I'm making a video, that's why it just reset itself. So, like I said, I tested out the when I initially played around with this stuff. I had some issue with the larger, high quality one. When I had that one hooked up with this on the same battery, there was noise. Like, this is dead. It's dead silent. Now I have this. There's hum. I recorded 60 cycle hum that's at the beginning of the album, and I'm demoing this, and I'm saying it's dead silent, and I've got, see, it's cranked now. So it's reasonably quiet. But now, as you see, when I hit play, that was the hum I was talking about. So, like I said, I have the fancy one, and when I ran everything, the amp and the MP3 decoder board off of a single battery, I had all this hum. This is the more affordable unit, and it's not humming. So, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I needed to do some filtering. I could have used a DC buck, and I know that some of those DC to DC converters isolate the ground, and that would have solved that for me. But in this case, the $4.40 one that is marked with, this is how you tell the difference. It has the Bluetooth logo on it. The $2.99 one doesn't have that Bluetooth. It looks identical. And that one runs off of 5 volts. So I would really recommend this, like, if you're on a super budget and you needed to replace, you could put this in your car. If you had an amp system, you know, you could put this in your car and hook it up where you could even not have a radio if you had the amps. So that would be one way to go. Or throw a couple chip amps back in there. So this is very cool. The bookshelf thing, it turned out nice and neat. It looks nice, and it sounds fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and let me know what you think. If this appeals to you, leave a nice comment below. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and subscribe, leave a nice comment, and peace.